Joining us now, Hank Burdine, board member with the Mississippi Levee Commission. Good morning, Hank. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, man. It's a beautiful day up in the Delta, and we got good news to talk about the South Delta and the backwater flooding.
Yes, sir. Just reading the Mississippi Levee Commissioner's press release announcing that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has announced at least a notice of intent to prepare an environmental impact statement for this backwater waste management project. I would say that's kind of step one there, is it not, Hank, to start mobilizing the resources?
Really more than step one. After the current administration vetoed the prior administration's plan, they realized we do have a problem, and they put together a committee on environmental quality, which puts the EPA in with the Corps, in with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, in with several other agencies involved, and commanded them to sit down, come up with a timeline, come up with a program to take care of this problem. And after several meetings, public hearings, all the input, all of these groups got together and came up with a plan that is by far one of the best plans we have ever had and can see coming to fruition through this environmental impact statement. Pretty soon we're going to get some relief.
So how does that work, Hank? Who actually performs the environmental impact analysis? Is there one that's required as part of this statement? I'm just reading the press release here. Is there?
It always is in a program like this.
Okay. And so
all of these agencies together and working together came up with the plan to make this thing work.
Okay.
And we get into the details of it. They looked at non-structural items. They looked at raising houses. They looked at raising roads, building ring levees, but also with a structural component, which is the pumps, which is a larger pump than they had originally anticipated because of the environmental concerns. But that larger pump will allow the water to be maintained at a certain elevation where it keeps all the houses out of water, all the roads out of water. You'll still have several 100,000 acres of trees underwater and some cropland. But it is a great plan and a good plan going forward.
Okay. And so, Hank, these pumps, once they're installed, will they be on public land, private land, or will there be any part of the system where they'll have to get some sort of
the steel bow system?
Okay.
Where the steel bow gates are. These pumps are going up to 25,000 cubic feet per second pump. That's a lot of water.
Yeah.
But we got to understand the Mississippi River, when those pumps are on, is flowing at almost 2,500,000 cubic feet per second.
Wow.
So the water that'll be going into the river is less than 1%. And by the time that water gets to the river around Vicksburg, it's totally dissipated. You will not see less than an inch rise if you see that.
Okay. So once installed, are there any present areas that we'll see the water recede, that will be drained as part of this?
Well, yeah. A couple of 100,000 acres
okay.
of cropland and environmentally sensitive woodland. It's a great program, and it's a good program for everything involved. Environmental justice, the habitat, the trees, the farmers. It's where we need to be.
Okay.
And these pumps will kick on during the year at different times. When it's non-crop season, it'll kick on higher, leaving more water out there. But during the growing season, it kicks on at a lower elevation to allow us to get in and get our crops in.
And those who objected to this project, Hank, as I recall, most did have some concerns based on just environmental impact. Has that now been, I guess, kind of resolved?
That's nil.
Okay.
The people that are against it are the environmental national groups that anytime you say pumps, before you get pee out of your mouth, they say no. They showed up at these public hearings, yet they refused to speak during a public hearing, to ask a question, to make a concern, to make a statement, other than at the end publicly said somewhere, well, it's not even a flood control project.
Okay.
It's just something for the rich farmers, which is total. Well, I won't say what that is.
So it just seems like every time there's any discussion anywhere in this country about such projects, the environmentalists get involved, and there's always lots of doom and gloom that they'll attach to these projects, and really just all sorts of projections that seem to be hyperbole more than they are substantiated in fact.
That is correct. We got Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith is a war horse for this project. Roger Wicker, fully behind it. Mm-hmm. Congressman Thompson will be behind it. I'm sure he is behind it. And there's another aspect of it. In the upper areas of the Delta, during the summertime, when everything dries up, talking about putting in a series of well fields up there.
Yep.
That'll put water under the levee from the Mississippi River alluvial aquifer to keep water in the upper streams, which is great for the aquatics and the habitat up there. The pumps themselves down at Steel Bow gates will be adjusted to hold more water in during low water times. So this is a wonderful program, and we're really looking forward to going to the EIS on this thing.
Yeah, it seems like we've been talking about this for a long time, but now it's finally starting to materialize. So what would be the positive impacts, Hank, that we could expect? Certainly the people who live in the area, who work the land, farmers, et cetera. What's the overall positive impact?
During backwater times, when the water cannot get out of the Delta, these pumps will relieve that problem. It'll take pressure off of a horrendous environmental devastation that goes down there when you had 600,000 acres underwater.
Yeah.
Killing every animal down there, flooding out 300,000 acres of farmland, cropland, and the environment itself. So we are really happy and really pleased to be going where we're going.
Okay. Well, I know you have worked diligently on this, as have all the members of the Levee Board. I know you've been in regular contact with our Washington delegation, especially our two senators. It just seems like that we finally got something going here that should have been in the works some time ago, but I'm certainly happy about that. Do you expect?
It's good. I'm going to say it's good that it took this long to do it. We got a better project.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what about folks that maybe are looking to establish residence on this land? Does that make this available for that purpose now?
Come on. Okay. It allows us not only residency, it allows us business.
Okay.
It allows our economy to grow.
Yeah.
It allows us to build stuff now that we couldn't build before.
Okay. And do you feel like that the Levee Board or other officials will be able to convey to folks that might be a little reluctant that it's truly safe, that we have a system that will protect these lands from being flooded? Absolutely.
It is a system that was promised to us 80-something years ago.
Wow.
And we're finally going to get it now.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're off to the races. I mean, hopefully this will be an economic shot in the arm to the Delta, which so desperately needs it.
Oh, it will. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm ready to start busting dirt and pouring concrete.
That is awesome. So have you heard from any of the inhabitants of the area since this announcement, Hank? What is their response?
Just as happy as they can be. The announcement that came out is the most detailed, informative statement. In all my years of dealing with this, I've read.
Wow.
They did their homework. They got together. They put together a good program and we're extremely excited about it.
Well, that's awesome. We appreciate you coming on, and congratulations, and thank you, sir, for your efforts and those of all the others involved in this project. Glad to see it come to fruition, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you some more about an update on it. Thank you, Hank.
Come on, I'm ready. Y'all have a good one.
You too, sir. We're coming right back in the Element Wealth Studio.